Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Peace and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS to give us his truth and all his purity. And salutations to all you occupation this word throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and the truth. I'm the brother Yahweh Sab, and this lesson will be concerning World War III, which is the main prophecy for the last days before our Lord's return, who the world called Jesus Christ. We know him as Yahushua. He's coming with the millions and millions of angels, which people call UFOs, to save his elect, among the Israelites, which the Israelites are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, as you can see in the news, Israel and Iran, they've been having their back and forths. Mainly Israel and Hezbollah, they've been having their back and forths, which Hezbollah is a proxy of Iran. But after Israel struck Lebanon and, hit Hezbollah, Iran has retaliated and sent about 200 ballistic missiles towards Israel's way. And Israel pretty much has vowed to take revenge. And Biden has came out and pretty much said that, they give the green light to Israel to strike Iran, but not to strike their nuclear plants, but they have the green light to strike their oil. But either way, whatever they decide to do in the next coming hours, I guess, or days, Iran, vowed to retaliate back. And it's going to have consequences, on the whole world. Because if Israel attacks Iran's oil supplies, then that's going to cause an economic collapse globally. Because the world depends on that oil. And, if it gets affected, then that'll shut down the whole Middle East. And pretty much no oil is coming out of there. So what is that going to do? It's going to send the price of energy, skyrocketing, which is going to cause, a lot of people to go broke, by trying to keep warm for this coming winter. If not, then, they're just going to have to, save up the money they have to try to really sustain themselves. People ain't really going to spend money like that on energy anymore. They're going to spend money on things that are essential, like food, water, clothing, and things of that nature, because the prices of those goods are going to skyrocket as well, because if gas goes up, the price of everything goes up. But nonetheless, this whole situation is drawing the nations over there to the Middle East region. Russia is, drafting men to eventually go out there, 133,000 to be exact. You got China, they're doing military drills and they're preparing for war. And, that whole situation is going to draw all the nations over there to that region. And the scriptures say that. Matter of fact, before I read this, let me get Jeremiah chapter 49, verse, it might be 17. Is it? No. Oh, 20. This is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman." Now, Edom is the biblical nationality of the so-called white man. So this is the counsel that the Lord have purposed against them. It says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock of Esau is Amalek." They're the smallest of, out of all the Edomites. They're like the little brother, that causes trouble. And they go get their big brother, which is America and NATO, to come and, fix the troubles that they cause. That's exactly what's happening right now. America said they're prepared to support Israel and whatever. And Russia said they're prepared to support Iran as well as China. So this thing is bound to happen. But it says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." Draw who out? They're going to draw out the armies of the earth, to bring about the purpose of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is nuclear holocaust. So that's what Israel is doing right now. All the tensions they're causing, bombing different countries, bombing Syria, bombing Lebanon, they're making enemies all around them. And the scriptures say that they're greatly despised. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that too. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So their nuclear holocaust, their mutually assured destruction called MAD, that's what's going to take place. And Israel is the spearhead of that. And the apostles, they've been prophesying of this for decades, man. And we've seen it come to light. That's how you know which men have the truth, because nobody else was saying that. They was adamant on the fact that Israel and Iran will be what start World War III, not Ukraine and Russia, not nothing else. All right. It says, the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard, as it says in Isaiah the 24th chapter. At the fall of who? At the fall of Esau, Edom, the fall of the heathens. Because the scriptures say that once Esau goes down, all the heathen nations go down. Because that World War III is going to affect the whole planet Earth. All these different countries are going to get, some form of destruction. It says, oh yeah, that's it on that. Let's go to Obadiah. Yep, this is Obadiah. I'm going to start at 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashimashah concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's what's happening. All the nations, they're fed up with the so-called white man. Mainly the Amalekites, the J-ish people, because they're the ones that control America. They're the ones controlling NATO. They're the ones that have their different, their peoples, J-ish people infiltrate, amongst the government, amongst Congress. If you look at, their names, you realize they all are J-ish, man, So it says, arise ye and let us rise up to against her in battle. I saw a video where it was Iran and different nations, basically chanting against America and against Israel, talking about death to America, death to Israel. So these heathens, man, they're risen up, they're all riled up. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Yeah, so if you look at Israel, it's small compared to the rest of them Arab countries, They're that little country, and they're causing all this trouble, man. So you're small, you're greatly despised. All these different nations at the UN, when Netanyahu went up in there and made that speech, about how they're gonna eradicate Hezbollah, what happened? You had hundreds of representatives just walk out, in the middle of his speech. So Esau's despised, because they're seeing him for who he is, a hypocrite, a warmonger, So it says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So, yeah, the Lord set you up. You got so puffed up and proud, you thought you could just take over the whole world, do whatever you want to do, police the world, use your military, stomp people down to the ground, take their resources, do all these atrocities to people and never have it come back to you. Now all these nations have the same technology that you have, and you're not as bold as you used to be. Well, let me take that back. You're getting bolder, but you being more careful now, because back then they would have green lighted for Israel to just take out Iran, but now they coming back here, and their advisors is telling them like, yo, this is not what you want, So, and it's really the Lord, because the scriptures say in the book of Revelation that the winds of destruction are held back unto the elect of Yahweh Bashimashah seal, So that's how the elect is almost sealed, because all these things taking place, is leading us to the brink of nuclear destruction. But we understand that, the war is going to start. The scripture says it's going to be war. Slakia. It's gonna be wars and rumors of wars, but the missiles ain't gonna get shot until the chip is implemented. So we know that that thing is gonna come fast. So that's it on that. Now let's get Joel chapter 2. Is it 2? No, it is 3. It says Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah, so that's what we're proclaiming, man. And that's what we've been proclaiming all these years, starting with the apostles, that World War III is going to come to pass. So war is being prepared. All these nations, they're preparing. They're gearing their military. Matter of fact, this month, these nations are supposed to meet to have to join the BRICS. Almost 200 different countries. So they're preparing for war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah, so the mighty men is drawing up. Russia, China, you see, Iran, they all draw near to their Middle East region. It's like a vortex. It's just swallowing up all these different armies, and that's the purpose of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Yeah, so those nations that were considered weak before have not gotten their hands on different technology. Iran has that hypersonic ballistic missile. Slakia. They have hypersonic ballistic missiles. And then you got Lebanon. Iran supplies them with weapons. You got North Korea. They made the pact with Russia to be military aligned. So they getting supplied, with different things. And they said Russia already supplied Iran with nuclear technology. So, hey, man, Russia is going to be that supplier to all of America's enemies. The scriptures do say in Ezekiel the 30th chapter that they're going to be a guard unto these nations, and that's what we see happening. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Yeah, so the Lord is going to cause the chariots to come down over there in that region. That's where Yahweh Shah is coming first. When he returns at the climax of World War III, that's where he's coming to visit first, to wipe out the armies, right? To bring judgment upon them. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So it's there that the Lord is going to judge the nations and their armies. Just how he judged Pharaoh and his army by flooding them. Well, this time he's going to judge all the nations by flooding their armies with fire. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fast overflow, for their wickedness is great. Yeah, so the harvest is ripe. The harvest represents all these people, all the wicked. They need to be threshed. The Lord has all that wickedness flourished, for this day, for this exact specific day, man. Which is the day of judgment. All right. It says, for their wickedness is great, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So the multitudes, who's going to be those multitudes? That's going to be the different conglomerate of nations. What is it? Let's see. Is it 50? Okay, this is Jeremiah 50:14. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. O ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Yeah, so the ones that's gonna shoot arrows at Babylon is pretty much all the nations. Because the scriptures tell you even America's allies, which is NATO and the EU, they're gonna hate the whore. The beast is gonna hate the whore and burn her flesh with fire. So even Germany, Poland, France, Greece, you name it. Whatever nations have nuclear technology, they're going to shoot it against America, which is Babylon the Great. It says, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. The arrows are the missiles. And it says, because you sinned against the Lord. Yeah, so this is the sinful kingdom that the scriptures talk about, because none of the laws of the scriptures are held here in this place. America doesn't follow the Most High's ways, and they influence other nations to not follow the Most High's ways. They push LGBT on the whole world, democracy, feminism, It says, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she have done doing to her. So these nations, they're fed up. And now they're getting ready. They want their look back, because they've been getting, they've been getting eviscerated by you all these, decades, all these centuries, and now it's time for them to get their look back. That's why they got their hands on that technology too. All right. Let's see. Okay, this is down to verse 23. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? The hammer of the earth is America, Babylon. They're the hammer of the earth. Matter of fact, that reminds me of this quote from this general that they interviewed after the whole invasion of the Middle East, like in the early 2000s. And he basically said that they gave him a report on the different countries that they were going to invade, and the last one would be Iran. And pretty much he asked them why. He said the person that was above him said, I don't know. He said, I guess, when you have a big military, every problem is a nail and you were the hammer, So basically they create the problem, and then they come bring their solution, which is their military. They cause chaos in these other countries. They fund these different terrorist organizations just so they can be justified and bringing in their military and make billions of dollars trillions of dollars by destroying whole countries, taking over their resources, displacing the peoples. This is the immortal so-called white man. So he's the hammer of the earth. So the scriptures say, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Because this place is going to get wiped out totally. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. The Lord laid a snare for you. That snare is what? Iran. Because you've been successful at overtaking, Syria, majority of Syria. You've been successful at taking over Afghanistan, Iraq, all these different other lands, Libya. You destroyed it. You done took it. And you think you're going to be successful doing the same with Iran. Iran is not Iraq, They're the ancient Persians, man. All right? So the Lord said, I laid a snare for you, and you will also taken, O Babylon. So, yeah, whatever way Israel decides to go, Babylon follows, right? So that's that snare, because Israel doesn't have no chill. Now the Jew doesn't have no chill, He bombing on anybody. So that's that snare, because once you defend Israel, Russia's going to defend Iran. China's going to defend Iran, all right? And they're going to get the backing of majority of the world, because everybody's sick and tired of Babylon the Great, all right? It says, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. You strove against the Most High, man. All your laws, all your legislations is geared towards spitting in the Most High's face, man. Spitting on the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. All right? It says, the Lord hath opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. So the Lord is going to open his armory. The Lord's armory is all the nations' armory. Whatever nations, technology the nations have, that's the Lord's armory, because the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The technology comes from the heavens. The Most High gave that to the scientists to create. So the Lord is going to use those weapons for their purpose. They're not going to keep being stored in different, storehouses, man. They're going to be used. It says, for this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. So that's the purpose of the Most High upon this place, man. All right. That's it on that. Now let's get Isaiah 34 and 1, it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Ye have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter." Yes, so the Lord indignation is upon all the nations, man. You know, all the nations got together, according to Psalms, the 83rd chapter. All of them got together to take Israel down. So all of them gonna get that smoke. All right, the Lord is angry at the whole world, and he's going to show forth his fury in the form of the nuclear destruction, as well as bringing in the laser beams from the ships, the chariots, as it is all happening, man. All right, the Lord said he's coming to bring more fuel to the fire, man. It says, "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Now, look at the different videos of the Middle East when they go to war. You see how them bodies be dropping, you know? It's going to be a bloodbath over there, man. You're going to have ground wars, and eventually it's going to lead to missiles being shot. That's how it's going to take place, man. All right? But ultimately, the Lord is going to have the top body count when he comes in, you know, have the missiles be shot and shoot laser beams from the chariots, man. It says, "And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll." What is that going into? That mushroom cloud from a nuclear explosion. All right? The heavens being rolled together as a scroll. "And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree." Yeah, so that's going into the arch that the missiles go, that the missiles make from coming from one part of the earth to the other. All right. So just like the wind, blows on a fruit, the fruit tree, and then the one that's ripe, it curves towards the direction of the wind, So the same way the missiles fall. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven." The sword of the Lord is the missiles. It's going to be bathed in heaven because it's going to go to space. All right. The warheads. It says, "Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, Edom, and upon the people of my cursed judgment." So this is coming for you Edomites, man. Just like the scriptures say in Wisdom of Solomon that the earth was flooded because of Cain. So the earth today is going to be flooded again because of Cain again. Cain is Esau, Edom, and the reincarnation, the so-called white race. All right. They're the sons and daughters of Cain. They have the mark of Cain, which is leprosy, their pale skin. All right. It says, "The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams." Yeah, so that's going into what? All the people that's here represents these different things. All right. The lambs is Israel, right? We're the sheep of the Most High. And the goats is Esau, Edom. All right. Pursuant to Daniel, where it describes Alexander as a he-goat. Okay, so the kidneys of rams is, the other nations. It says, "For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." That's America. All right. So you people gonna be the sacrifice. It says, "And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion." So this is all happening because of what you did to the Heavenly Father's chosen people. You got us in the hoods, the ghettos. You did psychological warfare against us, made us hate, each other, made us hate our own selves, causing all types of division among the tribes, man. To the point that you got Jake that's atheist, Jake that believes straight up in Satan, So you got to pay for that, man. All right. That's it on that. Now let's get to Ezekiel 38. This is Ezekiel 38, verse 2. It says, "Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." Now, against him. Now, Gog and Magog is Russia. It says the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against them. Now, Russia, Apostle Tahar has went over it. Russia goes back to the Hebrew word Ra'ash, which means chief. All right. So that's going into who? Putin, the chief prince of Meshach and Tabor. That's him. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Now, if you realize Russia in the past, I say decade or two, they've been they upped their technology a whole lot to where Americans can't even keep up with them. You know, they did a great job at outsmarting, you know, the American Edomite when it comes to technology. They have better fighter jets, you know, better missile technology, you know, better drones, you know, and they keep getting better and better, you know, because America got lazy. They just thought, you know, they didn't have to strive for anything better because they're already at the top. All right. So it says, and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah power. Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tabor. So the Lord ain't for Putin either. He's against them. You got Jakes that's looking up so that Putin could come save them. You know, like over there in Haiti, man, they be begging for Putin to come and help save them and stuff. You know, you got these Jakes in Africa that's banking on Putin saving them, you know. But the Lord said he's against them, man, because he's still a devil. He's an Edomite too. And he's controlled opposition, man. All these different leaders, they all, you know, control opposition from the elites, you know. Certain ones to a certain extent, and certain ones they're fully controlled, you know. Just like during World War I and World War II. You know, the elites always control both sides and they profit off of the war, off of the bloodshed of people. It says, yeah, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. So the Lord turned it back from that soft era back to that Soviet era. You know, that Soviet spirit, that USSR spirit. That's the spirit they're in now, even better. It says, and will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, all different types of technologies. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, right? Persia is Iran. All right. So this been in the works. This been prophesied thousands of years ago, man. All right. And we see it come to life. All right. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. Those three countries right now are allies of Russia. OK, and they all trying to join the BRICS. So they're going to line up with Russia to go to war with the West. America in the West. It says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the North Quarter. So that's Turkey. OK, you see in Turkey, they threaten to go to war with Israel, too. You know, they telling them, they warning them. They say, yo, listen, because what's happening is because Israel's dropping all these bombs, millions of people are being displaced and they're flooding in the surrounding countries. Turkey's one of them. And they already said, like, yo, they're overcapacitated and they're going to have to step in and do something, you know, to protect their Muslim brothers and to protect their economy, you know. So, and Turkey is part of NATO. So, hey, man, that when the scriptures say that, how does it go? It said that they're going to have, damn, how does it go? They're not gonna mix oil don't mix with water, something to that effect. No, the iron is not mixed with clay. That's what it says in Daniel. So basically the kingdom is gonna be partly strong, partly weak, you know, and it's gonna be divided. All right. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with Children and Hammett, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the North Quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Because ultimately, Russia, out of all of America's enemies, Russia is the biggest. You know, they're America's arch nemesis. All right, so Russia's going to be a guard unto them. Russia's going to be the ones to supply them with weaponry. Russia's going to be the ones to supply them with different technologies to help them in the battle. It says, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. So, you know, Russia is going to go against Israel. And you see Israel, they just blew up a Russian airport or air base over there in Syria. And you got Zelensky they just shot long-range missiles in Russia towards a nuclear plant. And, if you do your research, Ukraine is the same people as the Israelis, as the JH people. They're Amalekites too, the Ukrainians. Ukraine is the ancient Khazarian Empire. All right? So you do the math. Where did the modern JH people come from? Out of the Khazarian Empire. So these two right there, they're starting the wars on the all over the East, man. All right? They're the problem. So it says, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Yeah, so the Lord is going to have them battle each other while he's over here waking us up. Because this is the reason that this is all happening. The Lord's people is being awoken and the world is going to shambles. All right. So ultimately, the Lord is going to save his elect from this destruction, while the rest of these nations, they're going to suffer, from that destruction. And these leaders, they're going to be in their bunkers, shaking in their boots when they see the destruction and the salvation. All right. It says, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Now this is talking about America, the land of unwalled villages, basically the land with no protection. They think they're so safe that houses over here don't even need fences, And America is not protected. It doesn't have an Iron Dome to protect it from the missiles. I was just watching this video where they were breaking down how America only has 44 interceptor missiles. So 44 interceptor missiles against 200 million warheads. What do you can't defend that. It's already damn near impossible to shoot a moving missile, So, hey, man, this place is set up for destruction, man. And these people are so proud. You look at the comments, like, oh, hey, man, Russia ain't going to do nothing. Russia's scared of us, we're better than Russia and this and this and that. Like, these Americans, especially the American Edomite, they're the proudest people, man. That's why the Lord said, the pride of your heart have deceived you. This is not World War I. This is not World War II. This is not any wars you ever dealt with. This war will cripple America, man. All right. It says, to take a spoil, to take a prey, and to turn down hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. Yeah. So, yeah, America is a desolate place that's inhabited. So in the spirit, right, it's already destroyed, and on a different timeline, America's already gone, but it's inhabited now because it has to play out. The word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai has to play out in the physical realm. All right. And we just playing it out. That's all it is. It says, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Right. That represents the money they're making, their businesses. Everybody come here to make money. Right. It says, Sheba and the den and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take great spoil? Therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto Gog, thus saith the Lord power, in that day when my people of Israel dwell safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses in great company and a mighty army, and thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. And it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Yeah, so the Lord is going to use Russia to pretty much, introduce his son to the world, Russia is going to be the main spear of judgment, and the Yahweh Shai is going to make his entrance, deliver his elect. And then, after the destruction clears, the elect are going to come down from the chariots and declare Yahweh Shem Yahshua to the rest of the world. All right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, thus saith the Lord power, Adau he, of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years, that I will bring thee against them. And it shall come to pass at the same time, when Gog shall come into the land of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua power, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. So that's going into what? The missiles dropping on Israel. Because America is not going to be the only place to get laid waste. Israel will be as well. But the difference is Israel will be built by the elect, while America stays laid waste. It says, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth and all men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. Every knee shall bow to Yahweh in that day, man. All right? Because the scriptures say it says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Every wall is going to fall to the ground. Literally, the buildings all over the world, all the different houses all over the world, everything will crumble. That's why it's going to take 1,000 years to build the kingdom of heaven, because there's a lot of cleaning up to do. That's why even Esau scientists said, starting with Einstein, that World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. After World War III, pretty much the whole earth is going to be laid waste. You can't make technology after that. It's too much, So the elect, they're going to come in power and change and enslave these nations to clean up the earth, man. All right? And we're going to rebuild it. It says, and I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains. The him is Esau Edom. All right? It says, saith the Lord power, every man's sword shall be against his brother. Every man's sword going to be against his brother. Russia, America, NATO, they all brethren, but they all going to kill each other. The Lord gave them the tool of their demise, the technology of their demise, man, which is their nuclear destruction, their nuclear technology. It says, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain, great hailstones, fire, and brimstone. So Russia's going to suffer the same fate as America as far as missiles dropping on them, but they're not going to be fully destroyed. All right. They're going to get hit with missiles from America and from NATO, too. It says, thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So the whole world will know in that time. Just like the world knew when the Lord messed up Egypt, the whole world is going to know when he fucks up the whole world. And that's what's going to put respect on the name of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right? They're going to know who the true power is, the God of the Israelites. And he's not a power to be messed with. All right? And after that, the laws of the Most High is going to flourish all over the earth, because people are going to realize, what the Most High is capable of, man. All right? And then, after the kingdom is established, that's it. Ain't no going down after that. The kingdom of heaven is going to last forever, man. Ruled by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, King David, and the 144,000 in all of Israel. And we're going to rule the whole universe, man. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem HaKodash. Peace and honor to the apostles and elders of GMS to give us his truth and all his purity. And salutations to all you accomplishing his word throughout the four corners of the earth, in sincerity and the truth. Shalom.